I'm Sarah Borkson-Keto, and in conjunction with NAREIT's REIT World 2020 annual conference, I'm speaking today with Sumit Roy, President and CEO of Realty Income Corporation. Sumit, thanks so much for joining me.
My pleasure, Sarah. Thank you for having me.
Can you start by giving us an overview of the trends you're seeing regarding rent collection and occupancy across your portfolio?
So October rent collection was 92.9%. For the third quarter, we collected 93.1% of owed rent to us. The portfolio is performing quite well. Our third quarter 2020 occupancy number was 98.6%, which was an increase of 10 basis points sequentially speaking. The majority of our portfolio today, 96%, is open for business, albeit some of the businesses are open with decreased capacities, given some of the social distancing norms that are being imposed upon those businesses. And it's usually centered around restaurant businesses and childcare. Rent collection across the portfolio continues to show resiliency, has continued to improve over the last few months. The investment grade component of our business, which is approximately 50% of our overall portfolio, continues to pay 100% of the rent owed. Our top four business, convenience stores, drug stores, and dollar stores, as well as grocery stores, it represents about 37 to 38% of our overall portfolio. And them being deemed as essential retail, they've continued to perform really well and have actually experienced tailwinds. The area of the business that continues to struggle is the theater business, which is about 5.7% of our portfolio. Given that there is continued movement of these large studios pushing out some of the big blockbuster releases further and further out, that has obviously strained the business model of the theater business. The rent collection has been right around 8% from AMC with that particular area of a business, and you know, until we don't have the continued movement of these big blockbuster movies getting pushed out further, we're going to continue to see some pressure in this business. But we are hopeful. We believe that the theatrical release remains a very viable alternative, especially for these big, large blockbuster movies. Because the math seems to point to that being the preferred mechanism going forward, despite what we've seen with PVOD as well as streaming services, and we've done a fair amount of work on that front. But once that part of the business recovers, I think you know, we should be getting closer to the 100%. But time will tell. That area remains of concern. And we hope that with vaccines and better therapeutics and less social distancing requirements, as people get more and more comfortable, this business will recover as well.
Given the impact the pandemic has had on many landlords, what do you expect will happen with property acquisitions in your core markets? And how is Realty Income positioned to react?
Yeah, on that front, Sarah, the business is actually doing very well. We've continued to source, you know, a very good product. We've done about $47 billion worth of sourcing year to date. There was that period, right, once when the pandemic hit, which was late March, beginning April, where there was a bit of a pause, I would say for about a couple of weeks to a month. But then, you know, product came right back to the market, and what we've experienced is actually a compression of cap rates, given the quality of the product that is coming to market. The good news for us is that it's not just centered here in the US. We are seeing very good product here in the US as well as in the UK, which you might recall, you know, we sort of entered into early part of last year. That part of our business is continuing to drive our growth, and year to date, we've done $1.3 billion of acquisition. We just raised our acquisition guidance to approximately $2 billion. So clearly the pipeline remains healthy. The product that we're pursuing with the operators that we would like to pursue the product, that remains available, and we are winning our fair share of transactions. So all good on that front.
Can you talk about some of the health and safety steps the company has implemented to protect and reassure tenants and their customers?
Yeah, most of our top 20 tenants, they are very large national, international tenants. Walgreens and CVS is right up there in our top 10, and they've obviously taken tremendous provisions to create an environment that actually helps with some of the pandemic issues. With COVID-19 testing, they've increased their times. It's a similar story with the grocery business, including in the UK. Sainsbury's has created certain times for the more elderly to be able to attend on an exclusive basis to make sure that they can come in an environment which is very safe for them. Similarly, our C-store business, 7-Eleven, Circle K, etc., have remained open and allowed for access to essential goods at a time when social distancing and so many of the businesses were being asked to close. So, as far as our core tenants are concerned, they have continued to take all the necessary steps to remain open and provide their facilities to open their facilities for the customers to continue to come in. As far as we're concerned, we've been working remotely since March 13th, I believe. And because we're a B2B business, we don't have a compelling reason to have our employees go back to the offices till such time that we feel with a very high level of certainty that it's safe to do so. And thankfully, we have the technology in place, and we've been able to continue to function very well. Through this remote environment, we do have a back to the office plan ready to go in the event things change and improve. But so far, so good.
Sumit, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you very much as well. Take care.
And for more news and information from REIT World, be sure to visit NAREIT's website, REIT.com.